This is a Wi-Fi battle between me and Oshawott. He leads off with his Donphan, while I lead off with my Arcanine. I use Flare Blitz, but his Donphan takes it very well since it is a defensive wall. And he sets up rocks, which proves to be very hazardous for my team since there are no spinners. Next, I use Crunch to dwindle his health away, and he uses a Stab Earthquake to do a very big chunk to my Arcanine. I switch out my Arcanine for my Gengar, but he predicts that and uses a Stone Edge, which does a big chunk to my Gengar. Next, I use Shadow Ball to take down his Donphan. Next, he sends out his Kingdra. I use a Shadow Ball, which does a very big chunk to this Kingdra, and then he takes out my Gengar with the Dragon Pulse. Next, I send out my Arcanine, which gets destroyed by the Stealth Rocks. Then after that, I send out my Feraligatr. He uses Dragon Pulse again, which does a big chunk to my Feraligatr. And I use Crunch to defeat it. Next, he sends out his Charizard, which uses Hidden Power Electric or Grass to take down my Feraligatr. Next, I send out my Steelix. He withdraws his Charizard and sends out his Swanna. And I use Stone Edge, which gets a crit and defeats his Swanna. Next, he sends out his Credilli. He uses Seed Bomb, which also gets a crit and does about 20 to 35%. I use another Stone Edge, which does relatively not a lot since he resists it. I switch out my Steelix for my Heracross. I try to predict him switching into his Charizard, but I fail at that, and his Credilli takes a Stone Edge, which doesn't do much. I switch out my Heracross for my Torterra, and he uses Recover to gain back HP that he just lost. My Torterra uses wood hammer, which does a pretty big chunk to this credilli. And he uses an earthquake, which my Torterra resists. My Torterra uses another wood hammer to defeat his credilli. Next, he sends out his Charizard, which uses Flamethrower to take down my Torterra. Next, I send out my Steelix. He uses Flamethrower again to take down my Steelix. Next, I send out my Heracross, which also takes a Flamethrower and is defeated. And that's the end of the match. This was an awesome battle. That proved very fun. Thank you. Rate, comment, and subscribe. And also in the comments, put any way I can actually improve my videos. Thank you.